Hello and welcome back to This or That, presented by Verizon with Kobe and Dash. This lock-in tournament is really heating up. I'm so excited that we progress all the way to best of fives now this early in the year, and we really get to delve into some of these teams.
I am the most pumped for this weekend. I was raving about it all last weekend. We got more ahead of us this weekend and 4 stellar teams that are going at it. I also know we got a bunch of slides to get through. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody to check out youtube.com/LCS. That's our new home for all LCS content. That's where This or That will live, as well as the dive and other content. So go check that out. Hit the subscribe button as we dive into our very first slides here, looking ahead at this week's lock-in semifinals and finals. Let's take a look.
All right,
semifinal. 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Kobe. 100 Thieves, Cloud9. We're starting it off big.
So we already did predictions on the dive. I locked in 100 Thieves as my prediction, which I thought was going to be a super hot take. But with their performance, and especially the core of the Golden Guardians all sticking together, showing really good synergy. Ssumday is already an amazing top laner, a piece that can fit into any team. It looks like it's not as hot a take as I thought it was going to be.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's a hot take. It might be the cold take because I'm there too, Kobe. I'm on 100 Thieves with the way that Cloud9 has shown up so far in the split. Fudge has underwhelmed for me as a top laner. I mean, I expect a younger player to struggle a little bit, so he's just not there for the lock-in perspective. And for Perks,
That's C9 bot lane, though.
The C9 bot lane's intense, but so is 100 Thieves bot lane, right? And that's the thing. It's like if your biggest strength is just going to hit a brick wall on the other side, then I don't know if it's going to be enough to, really punch through, where I think Ssumday is going to abuse Fudge in the top lane. So I'm giving it to 100 Thieves as well.
I think it's really going to be close, though. I'm excited for each and every one of these semifinals coming up. Let's get into the next slide. More underrated, Damonte or Svenskeren? I'm inclined to continue with my 100 Thieves theme of This or That so far, to go with Damonte. But there has been an uprising, people trying to really go to bat for Damonte, because he's been playing amazing this lock-in tournament. Really has stepped up, and this is going to come to a culmination when he plays against Cloud9, plays against Perks, and people are going to get to see, Perks had a little bit of a rocky start to the lock-in tournament, not as big as people wanted with the, giant price tag attached and coming over. That's going to be a spicy one. Svenskeren might be a better answer because he is probably more underrated right now, and less people are, trying to make up for that.
See, that's where I was going to go. Damonte has been playing incredibly well, but I actually feel like these last few weeks is where he has started to get that recognition. Yes, some of it is self-generated. I realize that. That he's like, hello, I'm over here, top 3. And he's going to have to point the finger at himself. But I think that Svenskeren has gone totally untalked about. In fact, when people look at EG, most people are saying, oh, the impact move was the underrated piece of this EG roster. And so, yeah, I think it is close. I'll go with Svenskeren, though, because I think he has not been talked about enough yet this split, where Damonte, he's at least gotten some recognition. All right, number 3, let's see what we got. We got more annoying. Is it the Akali Shroud or the Yasuo Windwall? I know my answer.
Okay.
It's 100% Akali Shroud is more annoying. 100%. And I think there's a couple reasons why. Number one, I play champions that don't care about Yasuo's Windwall. I play Vi. I play Hecarim. You throw a wall up, bro. I'll run straight through that. Yeah, it's not a problem for me. But if I played against an Akali, this idea that she can go totally untargetable, unfindable for like 2-3 seconds is just absurd.
Yeah, it's definitely less annoying now that it doesn't work on towers, but I would still agree with you. I'm still going with the Akali Shroud. I've had such a long time to be well adjusted to the Yasuo Windwall, and I've killed too many Yasuos to really even be frustrated by Yasuo as a champ anymore. Akali has definitely been more of a problem. I've definitely suffered a lot more at the hands of Akali players recently, so I agree. All right, next slide. Cool.
Number 4.
Scarier support. Vulcan's Alistar, yes, or CoreJJ's anything. Let's say Leona.
Yeah, right? Why are we even doing champions here? Ooh.
I'd say champion specific. Vulcan's Alistar is maybe the only way that you get Vulcan answers over the CoreJJ right now, because CoreJJ and Tactical have two killed the bottom lane 5 out of the 6 games.
Yeah.
Like it has actually been nuts. The Leona plus the Samira has been one of their go-tos. I think Vulcan's for the team though. The Alistar, they just can't lose with him flanking around on all these team fights on the Alistar.
Yeah.
It's been so good.
Exactly. I'm actually with you. I think when you isolate it to just these individual champions, I do lean towards Vulcan's Alistar. But like as soon as you start looking at Nautilus, Dematerializer, hooks that CoreJJ's been landing for 2v2 kills, and then as you mentioned the Samira, and oh my goodness, he's just so good. But I'm actually gonna go Vulcan as well. Vulcan.
All right.
Vulcan on Alistar is the one-man engage machine, and I love it. I love it.
All right, next slide.
Let's see what we got here. Number 5, bigger upgrade for their team. Is it Santorin to Team Liquid or Josedeodo to FlyQuest? Now, here's my question. Is this over their sub academy player or over their last year's player?
Bigger for the team, for their team. Just this individual change.
But it's an upgrade, so you're upgrading from something. So I'm trying to figure out if we're supposed to compare Santorin to Armeo or compare them.
It's their team before they got here versus their team now that they're here.
And Santorin. Well, okay, then bigger upgrade. I'm actually going to go Josedeodo for FlyQuest because they couldn't do anything without him. Like they couldn't say
that. They went from no wins to wins. That's Team Liquid was already strong. Team Liquid they already had Tactical and CoreJJ in the bottom lane smashing everybody. They already had Jensen. Armeo was doing
capping everybody.
Alphari already came in lame domination from day number 1. Like, so it's for the team, it's definitely a better upgrade here. Jose has arrived.
All right,
that's got to be the answer.
Fair
all right,
enough.
next
Let's
slide.
go.
What do we got for this one? Best top laner, just straight up best top laner. Alphari, Ssumday, Impact, go.
It's Alphari. I mean, if we're going in isolation, it's Alphari. 100%. He is the best of the 3 top laners by himself. Again, if you want to extend the conversation to I'm building a team, which top laner do I want on my team, then maybe I'm looking at Ssumday. But if I'm just talking about who do I put my money on to win the matchup, it's got to be Alphari. The dude is putting up over 15.5 CSD at 10 minutes against his opponents in the top lane. That's a kill, Kobe. He's killing his opponents without killing them.
Yes, that is. And he's also killing his opponents by killing them.
Yeah, he's doing that too. Good point.
He has some of the most solo kills in the tournament so far. Oh man, this is really hard because these 3 have been absolutely killing it. Impact Renekton was a story in its own right, winning so many games for EG. Ssumday was so good for 100 Thieves and worked so well with the Golden Guardians pack that you thought like, oh, did he already exist with these other 5 players? Because 100 Thieves might be one of the most coordinated team that we've had in the tournament. But I mean, he had that game versus Alphari. Yeah, he was Aatrox versus Renekton. But Alphari definitely had priority in that game. Oh man, they weren't able to use it to turn it into anything though. I'm not doing it. All right, I got to double. I'm going to go Ssumday. We need to spread.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Alphari has been really good at dominating these lane matchups.
Spread the love. Man, I feel that.
The team play for 100 Thieves, they're going to go far too.
I hear that. All right, I think we got one more slide ahead of us. Here we go. Udyr, God tier, just tiers.
Well, you know I've played Udyr literally every single season since the beginning of League of Legends. I think he is probably biased. He's probably in one of the best spots that he's ever been. To me, innervating Locket when it was broken was probably the pinnacle of Udyr. Running around spamming every time you change, you heal yourself and everybody around you. That might be the most OP, but having taken away having to build a jungle start item and having Turbo Chem Tank be as cheap as it is now, to be able to rush speed for Righteous Glory to basically engage on people, shore up that weakness. I'm thinking it is extremely good. It's already come out that he's getting nerfs on the upcoming patch. But God tier, he's not really God tier because he still has to run at you and auto attack you.
Yeah, you can't be. He's not God tier. He just isn't there. I think I agree with you. He's in one of his strongest places he's ever been over his history. But I think anytime I look at pro play and I look at a champion that doesn't have like an actual gap closer, because I know he can speed himself up. But no actual gap closer just makes it so hard to play in any situation. And when I think God tier, I think playable in almost any situation, going to be good in almost any situation. Maybe one of the shining lights is that with Chemtank being so cheap and like Gale Force getting a nerf for the cooldown of the dash, like, okay, maybe he's a little bit even more viable from that perspective because people have less escapes, but I don't know.
See, my problem is that he's also not just tiers because he's really good. He's really good right now.
He's
got
just
like a
tiers for me
56% win rate.
This reminds me of the time, because I also know he's a Shaco player. This just reminds me of the time when Shaco, I mean, Shaco's always been like strong in solo queue. And so one time I was like, all right, Kobe, I'm gonna give it a shot. I watched you play a few games. You gave me some tips and I just fed for like 10 games straight and gave up on Shaco. And I feel like the same thing would happen to me if I played Udyr. I don't think it's the kind of champion for me. So just tiers if I'm playing it.
Okay, I'm still gonna go God tier, even though he won't be like Zeus. He's not king of the gods. He'll be like a lower tier
he's
god.
He's a middling god.
I can't put him just tiers. He's feeling great, honestly. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of This or That. Thank you all for joining us. Tune in to the Lock-In tournament this weekend. We got best of fives coming up already, baby. And the top 4 teams are going head-to-head. We're going to settle it.
We get to crown a champion this weekend.